Hello, your Uncle Lucifer here. Today I shall begin what I should have been talking about from the start, and that is the subject of Michel de Nostradamus, better known as Nostradamus. This thread will be endless. No one can say it all about Michel in one video or 100, so from the start what I am embarking on is doomed to be incomplete, which I suppose is one of the reasons our producer, Neil Fox, has put it off for so long. Now, if one knows absolutely nothing about Michel's life and times, the who, what, and where of it is best gone over by reading the simple article about him in Wikipedia. As necessary as it is to know his biography, I do not intend to spoon-feed that sort of beginner's material to my viewers. Now, while Michel wrote more books than just his famous Centuries, which is written in mostly four-lined verses known as quatrains, these are the only works by Michel that the Lucifer series recognizes as worthy of real study. Some of what one sees on YouTube comes from some of those other sources of his. Actually, a lot of it is simply misquotations that Michel never said. These are invariably to support an immature YouTuber's political or social agenda. Sometimes they are meant to simplify Michel for mass consumption. Either way, you will get none of that from the Lucifer series. This means accepting that Michel was not infallible, that he was a product of his own time and culture, that trying to understand him without understanding that time and culture and his place in it is to understand nothing about him. One must also have a grasp of European history that most Americans lack utterly, just as one must trust and rely on those who know French and Middle French and Old French and Provençal and Latin better than oneself, which is to say one must at least have a university background in the liberal arts to tell a real authority from the usual crackpot. It is almost all crackpots when it is about Michel. I begin with the one remark made in the Centuries that few ever begin with, and that is this, Century 6, Quatrain 100. Incantation of the law against inept critics. Let those who read this verse consider it profoundly. Let the profane and the ignorant herd keep away, and far away all astrologers, idiots, and barbarians. May he who does otherwise be subject to the sacred right. When Michel says this about astrologers, believe him. One of the things that always put off Fox about Michel was astrology, which he views as no more than an interesting archetypal language, like tarot. The stars as such no more hold the key to anything than reading tea leaves. It is just a matter of whether the mind puts its faith in such things. Only then will it release the faculty that calls the seeker to certain insights. I might add that Michel was the worst astrologer who ever lived. Yes, he made his living at one point by plotting horoscopes, I know. But I assure you that when he was in a hurry, these made for terrible horoscopes.